What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back here again with another achievement guide. Today we're going to be focusing on Crisis Wing. This game was published by EastAsiaSoft and it was developed by PieSlice Productions. This game is a shoot 'em up and it's a fairly easy and simple completion or platinum trophy. However, it's definitely skill dependent, so if you're not good at shoot 'em ups or you don't enjoy them, you may want to skip this one. If you're an expert shoot 'em up player, you can get this done as quick as 15 minutes. However, I think the average person is going to take about 30 to 45 minutes to get this full 1000 G. Aside from that, the price is $7.99. Now, we have a couple different modes and we have achievements related to most of them, starting off with the one player mode. The hardest achievement here is going to be for scoring 200,000. Again, we need a high score of 200,000 in the main mode. It's called one player mode. This, I think, is going to be the hardest achievement or trophy in the game in terms of the skill dependency. Aside from that, we need to score 100,000 in time attack mode and then 75,000 in boss rush mode. Now, before we get started, let's go ahead and go to the options just because I want to show you one thing that affects an achievement, and that's basically changing the color of your ship. We get an achievement for playing one player mode with a blue ship and then also a red ship. So just make sure you play at least one game with each color ship. Aside from that, I did activate the 2-player pool lives. I'm not too sure what it does exactly. I don't think it affects one-player mode, but I turned it on anyway. Aside from that, we're going to go ahead and start up one-player game, and we're going to get all of the achievements related to this. Now, first and foremost, we have some miscellaneous achievements that can be obtained in really any mode. First and foremost, I want to explain the point medals, as really this is probably the most useful information I could give you. The point medals are basically the combo mechanic in the game, and that's also how you're going to boost your highest scores. So you want to pay attention to this because not only is it going to unlock the point medal related achievements, but it's also going to help you get your high score related achievements. Now, as you kill enemies, they're going to drop these medals, and at first they're only worth 100 points. But when it drops the second medal, it's worth 200, and they're going to keep multiplying until eventually you can get up to what I think is a 10,000 point medal. So we have a couple achievements related to this. For example, we have to get an achievement related to a 100 point medal, a 1,000 point medal, and then a 10,000 point medal. So you're going to need to keep killing enemies and keep collecting these medals. Now, these point medals are typically gold. If you happen to miss one and it goes all the way to the bottom of the screen, and you end up missing it, unfortunately this is going to reset your combo multiplier and you'll have to start over again. So the main thing you want to do is just make sure you focus on picking up these medals. I do want to point out that if you die, it does not reset the combo. You can continue your combo, you just need to make sure that when you respawn and revive yourself that you keep going for those medals, because you can't let them pass the screen. That's the main thing. You can die, but you cannot let those medals pass the screen. You want to keep collecting those golden medals until they end up getting to be worth more points. Ultimately, we're going for the achievement that is basically collecting a medal that's worth 10,000 points in itself. And I think that's where it maxes out. But if you can get to that point and you can keep collecting those 10,000 point medals, it makes it a lot easier to score 200,000 point high score. So yeah, just make sure that not only are you killing the enemies, but you're also focusing on picking up these medals. You may need to play through the level a few times to, understand the pattern of the enemies and things like that. The game also has checkpoints, so you can continue from the checkpoint, which will help you get to the first boss battle. However, that does reset your high score, so you really only want to use the continues to get to the first boss. That's really as far as we need to get in terms of level progression. Just make sure that you get to the first boss and defeat him. Other than that, all you got to do is score 100,000 and then 200,000 in this mode to unlock the high score related achievements, and all of the other ones are going to come naturally. For instance, you're going to end up picking up a power up item, you're going to end up using a bomb, you're going to end up picking up a bomb. Eventually you're going to get the achievement for playing with the red ship. After this, you want to make sure that you start up this mode and play at least one round with the blue ship as well. And then aside from that, you just need to make sure that you accumulate that combo I was telling you guys about and get up to a 10,000 point combo, which again is obtained by picking up those medals over and over again, and the points will continue to multiply. Aside from that, that's pretty much going to cover everything related to the one player mode. Other than that, all we need to do is dive into the boss rush mode and the time attack mode. We basically need to just play each of those modes. There's an achievement simply for playing each of them. but also for getting a high score in each of them. We're going to need to get a 100,000 high score in time attack and then a 75,000 high score in boss rush mode. Now this clip I'm showing you guys is specifically the run that I had where I scored 200,000. I wanted to show you guys a clip of my best run, so not only I could show you what a 200,000 high score run looks like, but also an example of getting the 10,000 point medal. Basically getting that combo multiplier up to the point where you get a 10,000 point medal. Again, the medals are related to the combos, so if you're having trouble getting those point medals, you simply need to keep collecting those gold medals over and over again, as each time you collect them, they're worth more and more, and eventually each one will be worth 10,000. Aside from that, just keep playing until you get that 200,000 high score, and then after you get that, you should have all of the achievements related to one player mode, and you can go ahead and either die or quit out. And now that we've mopped up all the achievements or trophies related to one player mode, we're gonna go ahead and see where we're at. So far, we have 700 out of 1000 G. We got all of these achievements right here. We got all of the miscellaneous ones. We got the gold medal related ones, basically the combo related ones, and also the 2 high score related achievements for one player mode for 100,000 and then finally a 200,000 high score. We still need to play boss rush mode, play time attack mode, and get the high score in each of them. Again, we need to score 75,000 in boss rush mode and 100,000 in time attack. So I'm going to go ahead and start up time attack, and we're going to go for a 100,000 high score. Overall, this is pretty easy, especially compared to the one player mode. The high score related achievements in time attack and boss mode are fairly easy. Now real quick, I want to take a moment to talk about gameplay because I haven't really talked about any gameplay tips. So what I recommend doing is saving your bombs. Your bombs are the green skulls. Every time you press the B button or the square button on PlayStation, it's going to use a bomb. There's an achievement for using a bomb, but also for collecting a bomb. Basically, as you play the game, you're going to find these basically barrels. I don't know what else to call them, but they have a P on them, and if you shoot them, they're going to either have a power up, which is going to basically affect the way that you're shooting out of your ship, or they're going to drop a bomb. We have achievements related to collecting both of those. Over the course of playing for your 1000 G, you're going to collect many power-ups and many bombs. You're also going to use many bombs. In instances where it becomes very overwhelming and you have a lot of bullets and enemies on the screen, I recommend using the bomb, as it's not only going to destroy most of the enemies, but it's also going to give you invincibility for a few seconds. For instance, right here, I'm not too sure how to kill this enemy, so I just used a bomb on him and it destroyed him nice and easy. Again, if you're having any trouble with the high score related achievements, even in time attack or boss rush mode, make sure that you're using that combo multiplier and that you keep focusing on picking up those medals, because every time you pick up a medal consecutively, it's worth more and more and more. Eventually, it's going to be worth 10,000 points of medal, which makes it really easy to rack up that high score. Now, a couple more seconds and we should be hitting that 100,000, and that should trigger the achievement right there. There we go, time attack score, worth 100 gamer score for scoring 100,000 in time attack mode. Aside from that, we only have 2 achievements left. They're both related to boss rush mode, one for simply playing boss rush mode, and then finally for getting 75,000 high score in boss rush mode. But we just got both time attack related achievements right there. So we're gonna go ahead and start up boss rush mode. The first time I played it, I actually didn't score the 75,000, so my achievement for simply playing boss rush mode had popped, and then I went ahead and tried a second time, and I got it on my second time. So it isn't necessarily too hard. It only took me basically one extra try to get the 75,000 highest score, so hopefully it's fairly easy for you as well. Again, if you're having trouble getting to that high score achievement, make sure that you're picking up those medals, because that's the easiest way to rack up a high score. Aside from that, you just want to make sure that you're smart with these bombs. For instance, these 2 enemies take a ton of damage, so I decided to just knock them out with some bombs. Feel free to analyze my gameplay or my run to see where I use the bombs. But yeah, basically where I just got overwhelmed or I had a lot of bullets or really strong enemies. For instance, bosses are a really good area to use the bombs, just because, you know, if you can defeat a boss with a few bombs rather than actually having to defeat him with your bullets, it makes it much easier. Another thing I want to point out is that you have 3 lives or 3 ships, even in boss rush mode or time attack mode. And every time you die, you start off with a new set of bombs. So if you want to get through a boss battle or a mini boss battle, sometimes it's better just to die so you can get some more bombs and defeat the boss easily. Just make sure that you keep an eye on how many ships or lives you have left, because you want to make sure that you last long enough to be able to get that 75,000 high score in boss rush mode. Or I suppose if you're playing time attack, 100,000. Or in one player mode, we had to get 200,000. So just make sure that you're smart with those bombs, but also know that if you're running low and you really need some bombs, you can die and get some more bombs. But, you know, don't go dying on purpose all the time, otherwise you're not going to last too long in this game. Other than that, we just got that achievement for scoring 75,000 in boss rush mode, and that should be my final achievement. So I'm going to go ahead and just kill my last 2 ships, and we'll go ahead and check out the guide menu. Yep, we got a full 1,000 out of a full 1,000. As always, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including TimG84, AOJ, Kegger101, Kana25, Michael Banksa, and Purple Rain 6. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.